what did the math major do when he got an eraser stuck up his nose? He worked it out with a pencil. But this is not about math. It's about how I came to draw on my strengths using graphic narrative as a tool for thinking and communication, as well as my own creative delight. My name is Kristen Baumgardner Caven, and I am a liberal artist. Liberal as in abundant, liberal as in free thinking, and liberal as in relating to books. One of my many arts is drawing things. Now, why did I draw two boys instead of a girl in this defining self-portrait? You will soon find out. In high school, I realized I could listen better when my hand was moving. Nowadays, they call that ADHD and give a kid a fidget spinner. My love of deep class discussions led me to a college where I could doodle in the margins of not just good, but the great books. In a college biology class, the things I saw under a microscope literally came to life. And I gave birth to a paper doll about a sperm with a wardrobe expressing his energetic masculinity. I Xeroxed a few booklets at my work-study job, and a few years later, The Real-World Adventures of Sammy Sperm became a best-selling underground zine. My teacher was only a little annoyed, but allowed me to attempt to explain the history of the atomic theory as a cartoon narrative. I enjoyed thinking of ways to express complex concepts with simplicity and warmth. I could only complete 3 pages, though. Hint to science students, it's faster to regurgitate your notes into prose. I loved the reading, but I needed art. I switched to a small art school where I could study color theory and oil painting and how to safely use an X-Acto knife. But when they asked me to choose between commercial and fine arts, I remembered, I'm a liberal artist, and I decided to finish my BA at Mills, a historic women's college in California. There, I answered an ad seeking a cartoonist for the weekly newspaper. Inspired by the beautiful campus and fascinated with the details of women's history, I drew an explosion of cartoons. At Mills, I fully developed my thoughtful and humorous cartoon voice and the ability to crystallize concepts in pen and ink. At Mills, where there were no boys, I stopped drawing the generic male, which I had taken for granted since childhood. I invented Emily Egg, whose expressions of femininity reflected the changing world around me. Was femininity for everyone? Was femininity for me? I could choose. What? Years later, I would collect all of my cartoons from this period of my life into my first memoir, Perfectly Revolting, My Glamorous Cartooning Career. I chose that title because of the tension between being a nice lady and a rabble-rousing fun poker, and also because, well, you'll see. When the time came for me to do my senior project, another awesome teacher encouraged me to create a full-length philosophical comic book. Synthesizing the paradigm shifts in my expanding mind, my apartment exploded with pencils, erasers, pens, whiteout, rubber cement, Xerox reductions, X-Acto knives, and sticky, pre-printed plastic Zipatone backgrounds. At last, I'd created a masterpiece, a 31-page exploration of cultural dualism through the story of a young woman leaving home and then leaving a college to seek her own mind. I shopped the reason she left around and was told, "You're ahead of your time. This industry is built around 14-year-old boys." The graphic novel was not yet a genre. In the story's first turning point, the protagonist, who looked something like me, has an epiphany that the generic masculine pretends to, but does not actually include women. This existential crisis sets her on a journey beyond the men's club of academia that puts and keeps women on the outside. In her new reality, she finds wholeness and love. 2 years after I graduated, the college decided to admit men to solve its financial problems. The students wouldn't have it. Their triumphant strike united the alumni and staff so the college would stick to its mission. Although Inside the Mills Revolution was banned that summer from the campus bookstore, it won contests and was displayed in a museum. After college, I just wanted to, well, But I had to pay the bills, and I went into business as an illustrator and publisher. I sold posters like this one, which still hangs on the ceiling of many dental and GYN offices. It was hard to relax, though. It was becoming quite clear that humanity had gone and broken the weather. I tried to syndicate an environmental strip called Planet of Slow Learners, but unfortunately I was a slow drawer. I am so sorry, everybody. We are now all facing certain doom because I couldn't make it in cartooning. Looking back on this cartoon, I see we've made some progress, but all ideas are still needed. This one is as crucial now, though, as it was 30 years ago. We will not be able to meet our 1.5 degree survival goal unless we work every possible angle. So it's time to move on from meatless Mondays to feedlot Fridays, eating only one meat meal per week. Check this out, I even painted my environmental ideas on a car. Along one side ran 4 1-horsepower vehicles. On the other, cows farted cute bubbles into the ozone. See the dinosaur angel being sucked into the gas tank? See the burning flames? Cartoons were the fuse that led to the bomb of theater, authoring, and literary creativity. But alas, I left cartooning behind. Zoom forward to 2020 when I rekindled the comic element for my great COVID creation. I animated my play, The Dirndl Diaspora, for the first ever virtual Oktoberfest, including a #DirndlDiversity fashion show. In the play, women of mixed races bond over getting traditional Bavarian dresses made in ethnic fabrics that honor their families. Returning to the fashion as philosophy concept I was first drawn to in biology class way back when, I used a croquis, a graphic mannequin, as a sort of a paper doll. Theater is about collaboration. I assembled a team of talented women, and instead of pens and X-Acto knives, I made art with software and internet images. I used to dream that my marginal doodles would inspire cultural change. I hope you've enjoyed being, quote, drawn into my imaginary world. Come and find me, read my things, be inspired. I continue to work things out with pencils and otherwise. Oh, and I'm always very careful with erasers.